Hey guys, welcome back to Novelty. I'm your host BC Fresh, and today we're going to be looking at what your doctor doesn't know about you may be killing you. This is a medical nonfiction book published by Dr. Strand and made in 2000. This book speaks about the benefits of nutritional supplements, and it goes into detail about oxidative stress, which is the process of how oxygen goes into the cells and slowly but surely breaks them down, and how that affects the body and results in degenerative diseases, which are diseases which are not caused by a bacterial or viral infection, but rather by the body's own organs crumbling within themselves. And it goes through 13 of these, the 13 most common ones, and the expected suspects are on the list, like diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and Alzheimer's. It also analyzes how they're caused, how they can be prevented, and how nutritional supplementation can reduce the drawbacks and effects and be able to give the patient a new lease on life, so to speak. Some good things that I've experienced about this is that it's very thoroughly explained. This book goes into extreme detail and extreme precision about each disease that it explains. Each chapter, which covers a different disease, is almost like a different book in itself. And that makes it a very pleasant and a very accessible book. It's almost more of a reference more than an actual book itself, where if you need help on something or if you're looking for some advice, it just has a section there that you just go to, read through it thoroughly, and you'll pretty much go there. You'll pretty much finish giving all that you really need to know about that. It's very easily accessible. It's very easy to understand in that it's not overwhelmed by complex medical terms, and any complex medical terms that are stated are typically well explained and given the definition to. So it clearly shows that the book had the general audience in mind rather than a more experienced medical audience. This quotes years of studies to support its medical claims, and it shows studies from all across the globe, and it shows various studies in order to prove the points. And it also gives personal anecdotes, since of course the person writing this is a doctor of himself. He will obviously have his own personal experiences, and he shares those as well with practically every single chapter and disease covered in this book. A detailed index is also given in the back of the book to give the reader just a personal guide on how they can implement nutritional health in their own lives and their own diets. Some quick talking points, pros and cons about this is that this is a really good recommendation for any health conscious individual because of how easily accessible it is, and also because of the thorough detail and the informative aspect of this book. The one drawback that I would point out about this is that it is a slightly dated novel, as it was published 20 years ago. Some of the quantitative or the numerical and statistical aspects of this novel may be slightly outdated. For example, what percent of Americans currently are infected with diabetes right now? Something like that. Something statistical that may be outdated, but nonetheless, most of the important talking points of this book are still relevant to present day. They are still something that is very useful. Even if the statistics and the data is slightly outdated, the mainly important parts of this book are still very relevant and very useful to this day. I would give this one a 9 out of 10 for its excellently explained and well backed up claims and its easily accessible format, and also because of the ease of access, the ease of going through this, not knowing anything about anything medical. I mean, I'm not a medical expert myself. I know pretty much nothing about degenerative diseases, at least nothing more than what the average person would know. But even I could find this really easy to read and accessible, and that really made me enjoy reading this a lot more than if this was packed with like medical terms that I didn't know anything about. And that earns those 9 points. It does lose the 1 point, obviously, like I said, for it being a slightly dated one that is 20 years old, and if it was a newer one, this is a perfect 10 out of 10 just because of how good it is. For a nonfiction book, this is all that you're looking for. You don't need anything more than that. Some easy to understand concepts, well-backed evidence, and a easily approachable, well laid out format. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.